Dear students, welcome back to the tetrahedron chemistry classes. So in this particular slide, you can see you have been given two reactions, and in these two reactions, your product are same. So in the first reaction, you can see you are doing the bromination of your para-aminotoluene and you are getting the bromine substituted product. Similarly, in the second reaction, you are doing the reaction in the different steps, and finally you are getting the same product at the ortho position relative to your NH2 group. It is again the bromine substituted product. So this product and this particular product, they both are same. So my point is that if you want to synthesize this particular compound in the lab, then which pathway will you adopt? See, however, if you are a student and want to learn for your examination, then definitely you will go for your first reaction, because it seems quite a simple reaction, electrophilic substitution one, where you are using this bromine and FeBr3 and getting the substituted product, right? And in the second reaction, there are multiple steps. So for examination point of view, if you want to learn, then you will avoid this particular reaction, right? Second one. But in the lab, if you want to synthesize this particular compound, right, then definitely you will go for the second reaction, right? Why? What is the reason? So in the first reaction, what is happening here, this NH2 is actually quite a activating group. It will donate the electron density to the benzene ring through resonance and activate this benzene ring for the electrophilic substitution more rapidly, and uncontrolled bromination will take place, and you will not get this particular product only, but you will get the dibromo substituted product or the tribromo substituted product, right? Because this NH2 is a very good activator. But when you convert this amino group into this NHCOCO3 group, so this is also the activating group, but its activity is quite limited here. So this ring is activated enough to undergo the substitution reaction, but in this case you will achieve a very controlled and selective bromination, right? And when you do the selective bromination, then definitely the yield of your desired product would be very, very high. So that's why it is always necessary to convert this NH2 into NHCOCH3 group. Moreover, it is a very bulky, NHCOCH3 is a bulky group. So due to its bulkiness, due to this steric hindrance, only this kind of the product, which is your desired product, will be formed in the greater amount. Once you substituted this hydrogen with the bromine, after that you can do the protic workup to get the this particular molecule, right? So this is the very, very important reaction when you want to synthesize this particular compound in the lab.